Lewis Roberts, always a solid pro. We've seen a bit less of him out here maybe than Stevie Dempsey, but never an easy draw. I don't know how you feel about how the table's been breaking, Nick, but I guess one thing with the pockets being a bit tighter maybe makes it a bit harder to make a ball. We saw a couple there rattle.
We didn't actually see too many dry breaks today. There's been quite a few balls potted off the break. Probably, I haven't watched every match, but the ones I have commentated on, you could probably count on one hand how many dry breaks there have been. Yeah, it seems to be playing pretty well in terms of break. And that was a nice, I mean, the brand new cloth, which is always going to make it slightly easier to rack and get all the balls touching, which always helps. Stevie Dempsey is away in the first frame. Yeah, Lewis always seems to be, whenever I just look at the bookmaker, he always seems to have Lewis Price as second favourite no matter who he plays. But I don't think anyone would relish playing Lewis. He really is a very, very solid player. Stevie would go into this as favourite, and indeed he did. I think Lewis was quite a substantial underdog. It's 3-1 or something, but belies his game.
Yeah, former snooker pro, phenomenal cueist, great single ball potter, and always a very consistent player. He's a level-headed guy off the table. He's not someone that's ever going to just throw a match away. You know, if you're going to beat him, you're going to have to turn up and do the job properly. And Stevie's got off to a pretty adventurous start here. He's pulled out 2 good shots already.
Yeah, he was looking for an angle here to get across into that ball on the right-hand side. He's finished too low. So that ball on the right, guided by those yellows, is becoming a real problem now. It doesn't double, certainly not to middle. I think the yellows are in the way of that.
Yeah, you can see as he hit that last shot, he was worried he'd left the ball short, that he was going for the pot, but he was trying to cue or for the table, as you say. Great bit of cueing that to make it to the corner, but attempted to make an angle that wasn't quite there and still couldn't quite get the cannon.
I say it doesn't double, that's what he's left. Maybe he thinks he can just beat those 2 yellows. I thought they were in the way, but they aren't. He found the gap, I think he has. It's a very nice shot. You could see him eyeing that gap before he played it. I think it's perfect here.
Well, this is going to be some clearance. If he comes out from the position he started this clearance with, no wonder he's strong favourites for most of the matches he enters if he can get off to a start like this. Certainly when Lewis went away from the table, he'd have been that unhappy with that break. One of those breaks, if you're going to come up dry, that's a kind of slightly congested layout, you'd be happy to leave, but Stevie's just unpicked this with absolute surgical precision. He's had to play some shots here, and he's had to play some very precise position as well. Several times he's had to play for a gap that's not much more than a ball or 2 wide. What a clearance that was from Stevie Dempsey. One straight out the top draw to open this match up.
Stevie Dempsey collects the ball for frame 2. Will break the hammer. Let's see why he's called the hammer. Not quite timed well. He didn't get that explosion of the balls, but still effective. He's potted 2 reds. It's going to help. I think the reds are okay now. The red closest to the pocket will pass the yellow, and he's got the other one down the rail. Just needs to navigate the cue ball here. It's going to be his only issue, is just getting back across to that. Say get across to the side cushion. He may not need to. He may be on it from here. I think he's landed about perfect. So he's going to have to come back over for the red on the left. He's going to leave it until last now. He's going to have to play a very, very nice positional shot to land it. Leave that until last and get onto the 8 ball. Sits waiting for the same pocket this ball's about to be dispatched into. It's all about this next shot. And this is Stevie's first crack at this table. It's a fairly big pocket. He's looking to go cushion first and into red, and then the yellow acts as a guide. So he knew that he was never going to be able to get across to actually land on the potting angle. He's always left this shot cushion first. Just also needs to hold the cue ball. I won't put too much pace on this. Very good. A couple of top quality clearances here from Stevie Dempsey.
Yeah, this has been quite a start, even by Stevie's standards.
Considering this is the first time he's played on, well, I assume it's the first time he's played on one of these tables. Fabulous. He did get a nice split, didn't find the ball. I wonder if he's going to... Yeah, a bit more into that one. Cue ball just stays out. Runs into the red. It was tracking towards that middle pocket. You see here, gets kicked into the pocket, or towards the pocket. That was going in. The red comes to save him. And now it's Lewis's chance with... It's decent. I wouldn't say it's incredible, but it's decent. Just needs to think about the one red that's a problem on the left, tied up with the yellow. There's enough balls around it to be able to release. I think he's going to look to play it after this shot. Just finish slightly low. It's finished straight. Needed an angle there. I think he's just got a fraction of the angle that he may just be able to stun across. Yeah, just a little angle there, you see. It's okay. Bottom red of the two will go to middle. Still work to do though to get back in at A1. Middle pockets play fairly generously, so take this red with pace. Needs to come off the bottom cushion, back out. Cause extension. Just thinking about his next positional shot. I'm not sure that Lewis has played on these tables yet, so he may not realise that you can really fire them into these middles. Not like that. Got to find the middle of the pocket. Just a small trace of fortune, just nudging the yellow safe. Gives Stevie something to think about. And suddenly it's a bit of a messy table for both players.
Not the start to the match that Lewis wanted. I guess if you're not going to get the clearance, it definitely is a second prize to get things a bit messy.
Yeah, he's left the red long, but doesn't really offer Lewis much. I think he'll just try and promote it with the cushion. There's no point in trying to pot it. He hasn't got a sight of any other balls, so
it's a ball he's happy enough to promote, but it's very easy to leave a good white in playing this shot.
No. I mean, almost guaranteed to leave something on, but just with the knowledge that he's still got those two yellows tied up on the left-hand side. Hoping that Stevie doesn't get out of this visit.
I mean, ordinarily, well, he's not going to go for it anyway, but ordinarily you'd say there wasn't much risk of that. The clearance he took out in the first frame, I don't think anything's really safe.
One
hard to play a very telling safety shot because he's only got access to half of this red ball.
Yeah, flick off and try and leave it on the top cushion. He's left the yellow, but again, I'm not sure Stevie's going to be in any rush to take on this clearance. He's still got the yellow tied up on the left side. But he wants to find a way to try and manoeuvre that out before. He's in control of this frame now. I'd much rather the yellows here. Left an angle on the ball to bottom right to come and kick that bad yellow out. So all about the shot. Guaranteed to be on a ball. Well, you're guaranteed to be on a ball if you play it that well. Very nicely controlled shot.
Got a magic touch so far today. Every cannon has been perfect, every positional shot has been perfect. Lewis Roberts sitting in his chair is wondering what he's going to have to do to get into this match. And the answer, as it usually is against top players, is to finish at the first visit and just keep them away from the table. Good angle here, drop the ball to the left centre, cue ball naturally drifting up the table. The only ball that's any work to be done with is the 8 ball, so it's just a question of how he thinks about getting onto that.
I think it goes to left middle. I think it goes between the reds.
This has been incredibly high quality of play. The first 2 clearances were top draw first visit stuff. This one has been a bit more played, but still the same result.
Get the cue ball back to where it was, and there you go. As simple 8 ball as you can ask for.
What a start from Stevie Dempsey. 2 first visit clearances and then adds that frame.
Stevie Dempsey leading 3 frames to 0.
And suddenly you're in an environment you weren't quite expecting.
Yeah, for some people it's a sort of bonus chance, isn't it? I think for Stevie it probably matters a bit less because he's out in the main arena a lot. Lewis has had a lot of experience. He's one of the more seasoned pros in terms of being around and seeing things, but maybe it suits him a bit better to catch someone like Stevie on one of the outside tables away from the glare of the cameras. Stevie has got a bit of a record for upping his game when he gets out into this main arena. I don't think it's going to negatively impact Lewis's game. Some of the players you do see when they're more used to playing on the outside tables that perhaps do freeze a bit in front of the crowd. I think Lewis is experienced enough. It's not really too much of a factor. Nice shot, to play with a bit of side to make that angle. He wants to get a frame on the board sooner rather than later in this match. It's just very difficult when you're frozen on 0 and your opponent's rapidly adding on the other side of the scoreboard to a point where you're almost too far behind that mentally you don't feel like you're in the game anymore. This is okay, 3-1, whilst not ideal, it's not out of contention.
He's going to have a long shot to play next. Well, he won't because he's missed the ball, but I saw he had a long one. He couldn't get close to his work there because of the angle he had.
Normally a very solid cueist. He's missed 2 to the middle, pushing them quite wide on the far jaw. That one was a bit easier than the last one, although it wasn't an absolute sitter. I don't think Stevie exactly needs his confidence building up, but obviously it does help watching your opponent miss 1 or 2. It makes you think you might get more chances.
Starting to fear for Lewis here because this one could quickly get away from him now. Stevie finds the clearance here, 4-0 behind. Against a man on this form is going to be very tough to come back from.
Obviously, will have known this wasn't a great draw. You're sort of hoping that you maybe avoid the really big name players in the first round or two. But it's not like you ever really look at the draw and think you've got an easy path. There's not really any dead matches, even in the very early matches.
Lovely kiss. Just releasing that red. That didn't go. I was just looking at that ball just to wonder if it passed, but clearly didn't. He's just come across and given it a little tickle. He just finished awkward though. He's hampered queuing and he's just a bit too straight on the one to the top. So I think again, just drop it in, take medicine, leave the other one to the middle. Yeah. Still not ideal, but it's not bad from here. Again, he can just drop this in. Depending on his angle, he may use the bottom cushion, but I don't think he needs to. I think he can just dribble it in and hold the cue ball. Well, just a bit of a wider angle, so he elected to use the bottom cushion. Simple enough, though.
This has been a good example of the many facets of Stevie's game. Obviously, as the nickname suggests, he's not averse to hitting the ball hard when the occasion demands it, but he's played some good touch shots as well in this clearance.
Just finished slightly the wrong angle here. If he was straighter, this would be an absolute formality. But this he needs to pinch it back, and it means he's going to leave a wide angle on his last red, which is going to track the cue ball towards the 8. So much so that he's fired it in and used the side cushion, and that's just okay. You just drop this in, kill the cue ball. I mean, he could come across the face of the cue ball, but doesn't need to. Very good.
Many other superlatives to describe the first half of this match.
His solid win today against Sean Chipperfield.
Meanwhile, back on this table, that's exactly what Lewis Roberts was looking for. He needed to get something going in this match, and that's the kind of break that should surely help him towards that. It's a pretty clear challenge facing him. Every time Stevie comes to the table, he either seems to clear up or get control. What Lewis needs to start doing is taking out first visit clearances. First glance, you felt like that was a good break, although you see the balls have come to rest. I think he's ruining the fact that he hasn't got a slightly easier starting position. There's obviously a couple of shots he can go after, but not absolutely guaranteed. He's not had much luck into the middle pocket so far, but judge that one better.
What's he on here? I think he may just be on this one to the top right. It's very tight. If he's not, then he's struggling. I think he can just get through to it. Obviously it's tight, he's down for another look, but yeah, he can get through. Oh, that's no good though. Just didn't get through the cue ball. Needed to stun that below the bulk line for the other red in bulk. He's got a red long, but he needs to use this red to develop the one that's sandwiched between the two yellows. Suddenly very awkward clearance. And he was also rushed. He's taking another close look at this one. Maybe it goes. I didn't think when the other ball was there it went, but actually looking at it now, it probably does. I thought it was jammed against the yellow, but you can get past it. Oh, you can see it's tight. That's where you see him play it towards the right-hand side of the pocket.
Still doesn't feel entirely comfortable, does it? He's played some good shots in this clearance, but you can almost sense the nervousness on his part that he just wants to get this first frame on the board.
The problem is, Mark, I don't think the 8 ball goes anywhere on the left side of the table. It doesn't go top left, it doesn't go left centre, and it doesn't go bottom left corner. So he needs to. Well, he needed to leave a big angle on this, which he's done. It's actually a very good shot because he can just play across the face of the 8 ball now. A lot of players have had trouble today. I think there's some midges. Dancing around the light.
Yeah, we saw it in the last interview.
That's no good. That's no good.
Yeah, he's going to be disappointed with that because the previous shot was really good to get position and he's got pretty much the ideal angle.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, he's not one to ever do anything unsporting or show much annoyance at the table, but that's about as much as you'll ever see. He looks pretty disappointed with himself. You just look at this position. We've seen Stevie clear up from several much harder places than this, and now suddenly he's just gifted this frame. What Stevie's done so well so far this match is he just hasn't let his concentration lapse. The fact that he's seen his opponent struggle a bit and he's clearly playing well, occasionally that can lead to complacency and you can throw a loose one in. Stevie's got a real sort of steely determination about him. A lot of fun off the table, but when you watch how intense he is when he's around the table, it always looks like he's 100% focused on the game. There wasn't a lot to that shot, but just making absolutely sure that he had the right angle to go around the back of that red. Gave kind of natural position. Used to be a ball like that you'd think was close to unmissable, but you just saw a nervous moment there. He just wondered if he had pushed it too far onto the jaw. Problem in the end though. Right now this is all one-way traffic going towards the man sitting on the right of the arena. Best of 13 match. Stevie Dempsey already has 5 of the 7 frames he needs. Many have taken delivery ahead of this tournament, so it's a fairly new experience for everyone. Seems like it's an experience that Stevie will be happy to repeat, judging by this performance.
Yeah, life doesn't get any better for Lewis Roberts at the moment. You see those last couple of yellows coming towards that bottom right pocket that could have caused Stevie a problem, but the reds, I just can't see a problem on them. It's really just the transition from the red that's closest to the right hand corner pocket to get back out into the next ball. So we'll find out what plan he's got in mind in a couple of shots time. Looks like he's going across there now.
Red ball's in play.
Yeah, that's okay. It's just a slightly straighter angle than the one he had a second ago. The other angle was taking him towards the yellow, and now he can just stun straight back. Almost hold the cue ball where it is. Yeah, just come across through that line. That's a nice angle now. Eight ball doesn't need to be moved, it does pass when you can get to the putting angle. The room's suddenly quieter without the balls rattling through every single table. Much quieter.
Yeah, this main arena obviously has got space around it, and it's a nice size arena where you're not going to get disturbed by anyone other than the people watching the match, but there are a lot of other tables in play around the room, so there's plenty else going on. A few announcements in the background, other matches being called out. In a way, sometimes the players do prefer a bit of background noise. It can sometimes be when it goes quiet that suddenly you get more nervous because you've got more opportunity to think about things. So he plays it another delightful cannon.
I don't think throughout that entire clearance he was more than an inch out of position from where he wanted to be. Another lovely connection, but just no friends.
He's always a player that optimises for control on the break rather than raw power, but hit that well enough that he could certainly have potted. Lewis right now is definitely in that territory where you're just thinking, just want to get a frame. I mean, not that he's going to care if he loses 7-0, it's ultimately the same, but you just sort of feel like you're just chasing that first frame. Obviously the opportunity's much diminished now.
Stevie's dangled the carrot. There's an angle here to come across into the yellows and break out everything. How's your luck? No good, sir. No good. I mean, how is it possible to land on nothing? You think if you can in the red, you have to be on something. You cannot fail to be on something. Somehow, he's found one of the only areas on the table he can pot a ball. Oh, that's clever.
No surprise to see him going attack. He was going to play a safety shot 6-0 down, but had to manufacture one there.
Pushed the yellow onto the right side cushion, which isn't going to help, but yeah, just have to throw caution to the wind here.
It's a knockout tournament, so the scoreline isn't important. It's not like we're playing a group stage or anything, but still, no player likes to lose to 0. Just looking to get past that red and force the cue ball round, but he's got a cannon he didn't want. Again, if he can see a pot, he'll probably go for it.
Yeah, pot and cannon here. It's landed okay. I think he's... What has it? Is he on the one that he's closest to? No. He's not. Probably chasing now, but why would you not?
The other thing, of course, is there's 2 Pro Series events this weekend, so you want to try and take something out of the first one just to give you a bit of confidence going into round 2.
Tried to play it off the red. And just push those 3 reds into a... just on top of each other.
Stevie's played so well in this match. Anything less than 7-0 will almost be a disappointment for him.
Yeah. I said it earlier, it really is the best ball I've seen so far today. He looks in complete command out there. Hasn't looked like missing a ball. The cue ball's been on a string. And we need to ask him in his interview whether he's actually had a chance to play on these tables before, because he has just stepped straight in from ball 1 and been pinpoint.
Yeah, it wasn't the best prep, even though he was expecting to play a match. He effectively got called down a few minutes early for this one, and he was very gracious in doing that. He did rush down as soon as we asked him to.
I think that would have suited him as well. I think he thrives in this environment. Well, we've just seen it. The first misstep, if you can call it such, the first time he's fallen out of position.
It's obviously close because the referee came to look, but it's not a touching ball. I think he's probably too close to play it to the corner.
Yeah, cushion first. Just seeing if he can get to the cushion. Still gets it.
This has been ridiculous stuff from Stevie, hasn't it?
Sublime. Absolutely sublime. Stunning Stevie Dempsey. That is fabulous from him. Absolutely fabulous. Gives the donut to Lewis Roberts.
I mean, the scoreline says it all, but it doesn't really say it all. That was just so one-sided. Majestic start from Stevie Dempsey, and it just got better from there.